but it's about anything that didn't turn out the way you thought it would, anything that isn't happening the way you thought it was going to, and the pain that comes along with holding on to loss versus seeing what's there and finding out and being curious about what is there.
One of the most valuable things, there's so many valuable things that you conveyed to me. One of them was sharing a written piece called Welcome to Holland by Emily Pearl Kingsley. So it's about 300 words. It's the one of the briefest inspirational writings I've ever seen. And it changed my life. It really did, because it taught me how to think about my current situation. But I came back to that over and over again. It served me in multiple times in my life when I needed perspective to understand like where I was and why things were going to be okay. Right? Alex, so if you would be kind enough to read Welcome to Holland for our listeners, I think it would be really helpful for them to understand the message behind this. And I'd love to hear about what it means to you. Would you do that for us?
I'd be happy to. Absolutely. This Welcome to Holland. I'm often asked to describe the experience of raising a child with a disability, to try to help people who have not shared that unique experience to understand it, to imagine how it would feel. It's like this. When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous vacation trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks and make your wonderful plans. The Colosseum, the Michelangelo David, the gondolas in Venice. You may learn some handy phrases in Italian. It's all very exciting. After months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and off you go. Several hours later, the plane lands. The stewardess comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you say? What do you mean Holland? I signed up for Italy. I'm supposed to be in Italy. All my life, I've dreamed of going to Italy. But there's been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing is that they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place full of pestilence, famine, and disease. It's just a different place. You must go out and buy new guidebooks. You must learn a whole new language. And you will meet a whole new group of people who you would never have met. It's just a different place. It's slower paced than Italy, less flashy than Italy. But after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills and Holland has tulips. Holland even has Rembrandt. But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy. And they're all bragging about what a wonderful time they had there. And for the rest of your life, you'll say, yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned. And the pain of that will never, ever, ever, ever go away, because the loss of that dream is a very, very significant loss. But if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't get to go to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy the very special, the very lovely things about Holland. And that is written, as you said, by Emily Pearl Kingsley.
And that is why I had you read it instead of me. Because
it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It is, I've shared that with multiple people at multiple times. For multiple reasons. When did you start giving that out? Like, how did you come across that? And what does it mean? What does it mean to you?
Yeah. So I received this at some point. It's kind of lore with us, it gets passed around. And for some reason, I think the reframing that she does in this, I mean, for anyone, this doesn't this her particular journey is about having a child with special needs, but it's about anything that didn't turn out the way you thought it would, anything that isn't happening the way you thought it was going to, and the pain that comes along with holding on to loss versus seeing what's there and finding out and being curious about what is there. And it's not to say that you don't process the loss and that you don't feel the feelings related to the loss, because the loss is there. But it does open you. And I hope, I know from, like, when I read that, of course, when I read that, I was reading it as a beautiful way to reframe what it must be like to. And of course, I think it's just important to note, you and I worked together before I had kids. I was not a mother when I worked with you. And so for me, it was like this way of using someone's experience and how they were characterizing what it was like to then share with people who, were just really present in that space of, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. And I have to do all these things, and I don't know, the pressure of like what's happening at that time frame when you're finding out that your child is reacting to things in a way that you don't understand, and that you don't know what's going on, and you want to help them and understand them, and it feels like almost I have to do whatever I can to get them to where I, back to Italy, not let them show you where Holland is and what's around Holland. And I think that's so much of what we did together was, kind of tease out and figure out what's important here, for what's really important. Is it important that you think your child needs to be doing music and going to lessons here and not, or is it really important that we maybe spend a little bit of time, hey, sports is really important to him. Let's hear more about that. Let's hear about what it is about sports that he's interested in, that he likes. And so when I read that, you never know who that's going to speak to, but I've offered it to many people, and I appreciate you offering it back to me so many years later, because I've been on a few trips to Holland since then. And it's really, it's really important to notice when we're holding on to some vision of something that we think needs to be a certain way to be okay. And that's just not true. Things don't have to be a certain way to be okay. There's all kinds of ways for things to be okay. If we're with the right people, if we have the support we need, if we have what we need. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that. I think when I share that with families, it's really an effort to just have something to connect to. A, you're not alone. You're not the only one on this journey. And B, there's going to be a process of letting go. It's okay. It is okay and normal and right to grieve what you thought was there, but there might be some surprises. There might be something really great also to notice and to acknowledge and accept.